Imagine being the most powerful woman in 12th century Europe, inheriting a massive estate at the age of just 15. Eleanor of Aquitaine was one of the most influential figures in history. But was it just the inheritance that led to her power? Or was it also her intelligence, ambition, and determination? And did she enjoy power or struggle against fate? Eleanor was born in southern France around the year 1122. Her father, William X, Duke of Aquitaine, ensured she received a good education. She learned about philosophy, literature, and different languages. All this doesn't seem very exciting unless you hear that she was her father's chosen heir at the age of only 5 years, an age at which most of us are still playing with dolls. Eleanor had already been designated to inherit her father's vast domains. He taught her everything about life at court, preparing her for the future ahead. Her life transformed rapidly when her father passed away, and at the age of 15, Eleanor stepped into a role of immense responsibility and power. As an avid horsewoman, she used to have an active lifestyle, which perhaps prepared her for the sudden shift from youth to leadership. She became the Duchess of Aquitaine, inheriting her father's title and extensive lands. The King of France, recognizing her significance, swiftly placed her under his guardianship and arranged her betrothal to his son, Louis. To underscore the importance of this union, he sent an impressive escort of 500 men to deliver the news to Eleanor and ensure her safe passage to her life as France's future queen consort. Louis and Eleanor's marriage in July 1137 marked the start of a new chapter. But before they could even settle in, fate showed its plans. The King of France, Louis VI, fell sick and passed away. Suddenly, just weeks after marriage, Eleanor had to adapt to her new role in the Cité Palace, her new Parisian home. There was no time for the couple to ease into royal life. By the end of the year, during the festive season, they both faced an even larger role. On Christmas Day, they were crowned as the new King and Queen of France, a rapid ascent of power for Eleanor and a substantial change from her life in Aquitaine. Despite being the rulers, their first years of governance were full of troubles. Louis and Eleanor grappled with power struggles, notably with the influential Count Theobald of Champagne, and clashed with the Pope. Louis's inexperience was apparent. His military and diplomatic missteps caused friction between the Pope and his lords. The tension peaked with the horrific events at Vitry, where many innocent lives were lost after people seeking safety in a church were trapped when it was set on fire by Louis's forces. Racked with remorse, Louis found redemption in the Pope's call for a crusade in 1145, a quest Eleanor valiantly joined despite its doomed outcome. But this decision brought severe outcomes. The crusade strained their relationship, leading to a growing chasm between them. Ultimately, after years of discontent and Eleanor's request for annulment, their marriage was dissolved on the grounds of consanguinity in 1152. The separation resulted in their daughters remaining with Louis, while Eleanor and Louis continued their lives apart. Another chapter in Eleanor's life unfolded after her annulment from Louis. Within 2 months, she faced and overcame attempts by various French noblemen to marry her. After all, who would not want to hold such a wealthy and influential woman as their wife? But Eleanor had her own plans. Choosing her own path, she married Henry, Count of Anjou and Duke of Normandy. Gossip had linked her with Henry's father, yet she pushed past the rumors. Their blood ties were closer than those she shared with Louis. But it mattered little. The marriage proceeded, and it proved consequential. Merely 2 years later, the couple ascended to higher royalty. They were crowned as the King and Queen of England, following Henry's claim to the throne after King Stephen's death. Although this marriage was more successful than the previous one, Eleanor's union with Henry still had ongoing dramas. Disagreements were frequent between the two headstrong individuals, yet their partnership was prolific, resulting in the birth of 8 children over 14 years, from 1152 to 1166. Well, this shows that Eleanor not only knew how to rule, but also know how to manage a family. Eleanor of Aquitaine's exact role in King Henry's rule is unclear, but her intelligence and strong personality hint that she had real power behind the scenes. Things changed in 1167, when Eleanor moved away from Henry. She lived in Poitiers and ruled her lands. The main reason for their split is poorly documented, but most think Henry's affairs seriously damaged their relationship. All this even when you have 8 children. Eleanor's period in Poitiers marks another fascinating chapter in her life. Here, she created the Court of Love, Fostering a culture of chivalry and artistic expression, the court became a hub for troubadours, who spread ideals of courtly love through their work. Under her influence, literature, music, and folklore flourished, reaching across distant lands and generations. Although time has blurred the lines between fact and fiction about the court's truths, it's widely accepted that Eleanor, possibly with her daughter Marie's company, emphasized love and chivalrous behavior in her courtly rituals. This period saw an explosion of cultural achievements. Yet, sadly, this golden era of arts and enlightenment under Eleanor's patronage did not last. Her subsequent capture and imprisonment doused the influence she held, pausing her contributions to the cultural and artistic movements for nearly 2 decades. Imagine all the potential lost during those years of captivity. Then, in 1173, Eleanor's son, young Henry, fled to France. He wanted to challenge his father and take over the English crown. What a family drama! The whispers were loud. Many believed Eleanor was helping her son plot against King Henry. Her actions, or the rumors of them, led to her being captured and locked away for treason. During her imprisonment, which stretched over 16 long years, she was shuffled from castle to castle across England. During all this, it was murmured she continued to stir up trouble against her husband and might have even had a part in the death of his much-favored mistress, Rosamund. Let us know what you think about this. Can an imprisoned woman really carry out such things? After enduring endless rebellion and civil strife, young Henry died due to illness in 1183. On his deathbed, he pleaded for his mother's freedom. Moved by his final request, King Henry allowed Eleanor's return to England the following year. Though she remained under watchful eyes, she was back in the royal fold, but only partially, marking solemn events by the king's side and taking up some duties of her erstwhile queenly role. Sadly, Henry II passed away in July 1189, and his son Richard took the throne. One of Richard's initial decisions was to release his mother, Eleanor, from captivity and restore her freedom. As Richard went to lead the Third Crusade, Eleanor governed in his stead. When the crusade ended, Richard, known as Richard Lionheart, returned to rule England until his death in 1199. Eleanor saw her youngest son, John, become king and served him as a diplomat to France. Eleanor was almost 80 when she went on a mission over the Pyrenees to marry her granddaughter Blanche to the French king's son, aiming to secure peace between the Plantagenets and the Capetians. In 1200, she also defended John's French lands. She supported John once more in 1202 at Mirabeau. After all, she was his mom, and this was indeed a critical victory for him. Eleanor passed away in 1204 at the Fontevraud Abbey after a life of adventure, power, and political savvy. Her legacy endured, with her ancestral lands remaining loyal to England even after Normandy was lost. Revered for her beauty and justice, Eleanor was a queen who, in maturity, demonstrated tenacity and wisdom. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, let us know in the comments what you think about Eleanor's life and legacy. Did she make the right choices? If no, how could she have made things better? You can also check out our previous video on the Shang Dynasty. Goodbye until next time!